Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Lazlow the MST Guy, and welcome to the show. Today we're going to be looking at Mystery Science Theater 3000 KTMA number 10, Cosmic Princess. Now, this isn't really a real movie. It's actually 2 episodes of Space 1999 spliced together, which was then shown on American TV. The movie stars Academy Award winner Martin Landau and his real wife, at the time, Barbara Bain. The episode begins with the Mads contacting Joel with an auxiliary satellite dish as it's Super Bowl Sunday, and they're using their main transmitter dish to watch the game.
Transmitter I bought with the money from the proceeds of those no-D glasses.
These are great. These are Anakin. I'm so big. Look, I can only see length.
Joel gets a movie sign and we head into the theater. During the opening credits, we get a brief synopsis of the events explaining the premise of the movie.
Moon torn out of Earth's orbit, hurled into outer space.
We open with Dr. Helena Russell telling her computer that after a little mishap with a wormhole, they've sent a ship out to locate some titanium that they need in order to repair a life support system. The ship approaches the planet, and we get some nifty flying scenes that even Gamera would be jealous of.
A lot of good acting in this thing.
Kids love the rich taste of titanium.
The ship's on its way back to base when it's attacked by a blue Super Ball.
Oh, maybe it's just Mitch Miller in search of a song.
The ship disappears when Mentor, our antagonist for at least this part of the film, calls up Martin and his crew.
Commander Koenig.
Oh, well, they forgot to mention... It's Mr. French!
I am Mentor of the planet Psycho.
Welcome back to another edition of Learning with Lazlow. Now you might be thinking to yourself, gee Lazlow, that guy that plays Mentor, his voice sounds really familiar. Well, the actor that plays him is named Brian Blessed. He's a character actor that's been around since the 60s, but you probably know him best as Prince Vultan, the leader of the Winged Men from the 1980 classic Flash Gordon. And he also provided the voice for Boss Nass from the 1999 not-so-classic Star Wars, Episode 1, A Phantom Menace. Wait a minute. Episode 1 was released in 1999. Today's movie is 2 episodes of Space 1999. I think the circle is complete. Martin and Mentor decide to meet in space when things don't go quite as planned. Mentor's ship tries to pull Martin's ship down to the planet, but they get away, for now. Mentor, angered that they got away, sends another blue Super Ball after them.
Something stinks. I think it's the acting. Whatever it is, it's expensive.
Now that they're on the planet, Martin and his team decide to investigate Mentor's lair when things, again, don't go quite as planned. Martin awakes in a room with a lion when suddenly it turns into a humanoid named Maya.
You just can't beat the big tasty Kit Kat. There's a woman in his head.
Now, I think she's supposed to be the Cosmic Princess, but it's never really specified. She is Mentor's daughter, who's been brainwashed by her father in believing that he's the nicest guy in the galaxy. When we break for a host segment. In this host segment, Crow is playing barber, cutting Joel's hair as they discuss sports.
Who do you like in the game today?
Oh, I don't know. Probably the Niners.
Niners, yeah. I got my money on Cincy. Say, did you see Carson last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like that new guy? You know, that...
You mean Jay Leno?
No, you know, that new guy, that black Carson.
Oh, Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, that's him.
We come back into the movie. Martin and Mentor meet face to face. Mentor's taken the rest of Martin's landing party hostage and is torturing them, unless Martin will do as he says.
Yes, Commander?
He calls the moon base and gives his crew the orders to evacuate the moon base under Directive 4.
What is Directive 4?
I'm a product of good brooding.
A clear instruction to destroy the place it originated from.
Destroy the planet?
Maya pays Martin a visit, and he convinces her to visit the caves where her father has brainwashed slaves working. After some arguing, she heads down to the caves and is shocked to learn that her father is actually an evil bastard. Maya frees everyone, and Martin and Maya confront Mentor. A fight ensues, Mentor dies, and they take Maya back to the moon base. Upon getting to the moon base, Maya is now suddenly sick and rambling on about her father and other stuff. I think this starts the second episode of Space 1999. Anyway, the moon base is suddenly sucked into a space warp.
How come the anchors don't fall out? Somebody put the moon base on spin.
Oh, hey, Simon. Good to see you. Anyway, after a few minutes of spinning and twisting, we learn that the moon base is 5 light years away from Martin and his Eagle spaceship, and they're lost, possibly forever.
They could be billions of miles away. We have fuel for less than 1 million.
We see a few more minutes of Maya being sick when we break for a host segment. During this host segment, Servo jumps off the desk in an attempt to evolve.
Nah, she's too heavy. She'd fall through the bulkhead.
Okay, here I go.
Good.
Sorry, I lost my head.
I don't think that Servo was supposed to lose his head, as the next several minutes are spent trying to get Servo's head reattached, even in the theater segment.
Joel, could you bring my head, please?
Do is find that hole in space.
It looks like Joel takes a belt and straps it around Servo to keep his head on when, in the movie, Maya turns into a creature or something.
Yikes.
She goes on a rampage and makes her way to the Eagle ships.
Launching area. What's happening?
We're getting our asses kicked.
Mr. Carter, we've been attacked. Okay, I figured that. Where's it gone now? In Eagle 4.
She gets on Eagle 4, but apparently didn't take flying lessons and crashes. We take another commercial break, and again, my copy of this episode has another commercial for pizza and pasta, which I showed in my last episode. I decided to look them up, and it turns out they're still around. Now, if anyone has had their pizza or pasta, let me know if it's any good. We catch up with Crow and Servo back on the bridge of the Satellite of Love, working on Joel's taxes.
No, it looks good. You can hardly tell.
The babes won't go wild anymore.
Besides, medical expenses are tax deductible. So let's
deductible, okay.
let's see. Line 19, moving expenses. You can take this deduction if you moved in connection with your job or business and your change in job location has added at least 35 miles to the distance from your old home or your workplace. Let's see. Servo, is this more than 35 miles?
Horizontal or vertical?
They get Maya out of the wreckage of the ship and start operating on her when she transforms into Mentor. He kicks some butt for a few minutes when they stun her, when she transforms again and runs off.
Well, she's got her father's temper.
We finally cut back over to Martin and his co-pilot as they dock with the derelict spaceship. They go aboard the ship and find this recorded message.
This is the voice of Phaedos, commander of the Wily's interplanetary star fleet. My ship's life support system can regenerate enough power for atmosphere and the universal
That is
transplant.
the worst chunk of crap monster I've ever seen in any movie, TV show, or radio program in my life.
Welcome back to Learning with Lazlow. Now, according to MST3Kinfo.com, the budget for Space 1999 was around $300,000 per episode, a pretty hefty sum for the 70s. Most of the effects for the show are actually pretty good considering the time that the show was shot. Now, I just can't get around the fact that with all that money, this is the best they could come up with for the alien? Really? It looks like Ron Jeremy wearing the red Power Ranger mask. Anyway, that's all for Learning with Lazlow for this week. See you next time. The alien tells the guys that his ship has the technology to help get them home. After a few seconds of looking, Martin finds this device that the alien spoke of.
They sure didn't keep a very tidy ship on that.
Yeah, but everything's handy.
Yeah, this is it.
Back on the moon base, they've cornered the Maya beast as it's trying to get out onto the surface of the moon. She finally busts through and gets out onto the surface.
At least she can breathe now.
Of course, to explain how the monster can breathe on the surface of the moon, we're given this explanation.
It must have an air store like a camel stores water.
Landau's wife and another crew member go out in a moon buggy and chase the monster, and I gotta say, this chase scene is just really, really goofy.
The closer she gets, the better she looks.
Monster aerobics.
Creature is now on a bearing of 2670 and still slowing.
Roger, Alpha.
We have visual. We're 4 feet away.
It's dark.
The plot line?
And after that little bit of silliness, we cut back to Martin and his co-pilot programming this complex device.
1, 2,
3.
5,
What?
6,
That's why they're in such trouble.
7, 4.
Well, they are British.
The two get the ship working and take off towards the space warp. We cut over to the moon base to see them wheel the Maya monster into sickbay.
No, in a nice way.
She's still breathing.
She starts to transform again while we get some scenes of the other plot intercut with Maya's transformation. The Eagle's now traveling through the wormhole and Maya returns to normal just as they arrive back at the moon base.
The Dennis Hopper segment of the film.
Before we head out of the movie, Maya leaves us with some words of wisdom.
Like I've been riding the tail of a comet for days on end.
Whatever turns you on.
Yeah, I felt like that once. This one time, Mitch and I were doing shots of Soko, and yeah, that's probably another story for another time. Anyway, Joel and the bots leave the theater, and we head into the final host segment.
We're going to do this one. It's the Economy 6 play, okay? Now, Gypsy, you're going to hike me the ball. You're the center. Now, give me some protection on the line. They're killing me back there, okay? You go along, do a post, okay?
Right.
39, 29, hike.
Hey.
Go on, go on. Good, good, good.
And that is Mystery Science Theater 3000 KTMA number 10, Cosmic Princess. I know what you're all thinking, and no, I'm not really sure what the title had to do with the movie at all. Maybe it was Maya, she was the Cosmic Princess, I don't really know. As I mentioned earlier, this movie was actually 2 episodes of Space 1999 spliced together, The Metamorph and Space Warp. This is the first time that MST has shown a TV movie like this, and it won't be the last. Now, I've never seen Space 1999. It is in my Netflix queue, and I would really like to check out more episodes. We just don't really get sci-fi shows like this anymore. Sure, it's cheesy, but some of the model work is just really, really amazing. Now, as for Martin Landau, I think a lot of people know him from the Tim Burton 1994 classic, Ed Wood, which is one of my favorite movies. Landau played the downtrodden Bela Lugosi near the end of his career and near the end of his life. Landau received a very well-deserved Oscar for his portrayal of Lugosi. Overall, I really liked this episode. The host segments were good, the riffing was good, and the movie, though not technically a movie, was actually pretty decent. In my next episode, I'll be looking at Mystery Science Theater 3000 KTMA number 11, Humanoid Woman. Anyway, you can email me at LazlowMSTGuy@gmail.com or head over to LaidOffProductions.com and check out Zombie Chick Reviews or some of our other projects. So until next time, I'm Lazlow, the MST Guy, and I'm your host for all things Mystery Science Theater 3000. Wave goodbye, Simon. Nice job. See you, everybody.